A long time ago, I had no successful battles. My killboard was all ketchup. But slowly and surely, I became the scourge of wormholes, the commander of infuriating faction warfare fleets, the sneaky nullsec explorer killer, and the sometime pretty explosion that I am now. What advice would I give to those who haven't cracked PvP yet? What follows are the multitudinous answers to that question. For eViscFast, I'm Marvin Gankhouse. But first, we take a peek into the unexamined lives of some of the citizens of New Eden in a new segment called Marvin's People. Capsuleers like you and I have little need of medical services. If something is wrong with our body, we just self-destruct and get a new one. But what if you're an ordinary worker in a station somewhere, or part of the crew of a large ship, and you don't have access to the capsule systems when, say, for example, you get a leg blown off in a structure bashing? Well, what if your skull is shattered when a bulkhead collapses on your head? What do you do then? Well, it may interest you to learn that there is a thriving, semi-regulated profession to which you can turn to reclone that leg or reconstruct that skull. They're called doctors, and today we have one such person on the show. Doctor and surgeon Stefan Ingredient. Greetings to you, Doctor.
Hello.
It surely is an honour to have such a most helpful person as yourself in the studio. Some of our viewers are surely wondering, how would someone become a doctor?
Well, it all started back in school. I was a very popular kid and a terrible student. So when doing a test I would get that confused look on my face, the cheat notes would just start flying. Even the teachers joined in. But I didn't worry about it then. I figured, how far can you cruise on charm? Well, pretty far as it turns out. All the way through medical school and into a well-paid job. The Citadel Medical Board just nominated me for Chief of Surgery because I've logged more time in the operating room this year than any other doctor in the station. 4,000 hours this year alone. What they didn't notice was that it was mostly with one patient.
So, would you say you're a good doctor or a bad one?
Oh, undeniably bad. I'm completely unable to practice medicine in any way. My specialty is referrals, when I send patients to another doctor. I call them into my office and stare at a datapad for a really long time and then say, I'd like you to see someone. He's a specialist in this area. There are doctors who base their entire career solely on my referrals.
I see.
And do you know what my refrigerator is full of?
What's that?
Urine. I ask the patients for it, and they give it to me. I don't know what to do with it. I could send it to a lab for tests, but then I'd get a whole load of results I couldn't understand.
Right, and have station security ever asked to speak to you about your practices?
I'm sorry, Mr. Gankhouse. I'm going to have to cut the interview short. I have to inform a family that their relative didn't make it through surgery. It's the hardest part of a doctor's job. At least I think it is.
Well, thank you for speaking to us. Goodbye, Doctor.
Thank you. And tell your viewers if they get 4 lobotomies, the 5th one is free.
No, we're not going to muck around with a raw beginner's guide here. The market for that business is somewhat saturated on the video streaming platforms of planet Earth already. We'll assume that you can control your ship reasonably well and you understand the basics. We're also going to oversimplify things in a very heavy-handed and unprofessional way to get you up and going as fast as possible. You want to talk about the fine points? Well, that's why Bob invented the comments. PvP equals DPS versus tank. The essence of PvP is a numbers game of damage per second or DPS versus the hit points of the enemy ship, tank. There are modifiers. So many modifiers. But don't worry about that for now. Throw everything you have at the enemy and the person who runs out of ship first loses. Loses their ship. You can find your DPS right here, along with your Alpha Strike, which is every weapon you have firing together once. When you factor in the time between shots, you get damage per second. Most weapons vary from long-range low damage to short-range high damage versions. When you're getting started, I would just go short-range high damage or mid-range mid damage. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying,
oh my god, there are so many weapons and ammo combinations. How can I possibly know which ones to use?
well, chill out, I picked them for you. If you're skilling into a Mar, you're using lasers or energy, whatever, I don't know what they're called there, lasers. Pick yourself out a small focused modulated pulse energy beam 1, and for ammo, standard S frequency crystals or multi-frequency if you want to get in really close and wreck stuff. hybrid turrets, used mainly by Gallente and Caldari, get a modal light neutron particle accelerator 1 and antimatter S ammo. If you're using cannons, mainly used by Minmatar, 200mm light scout autocannon 1 and EMP-S ammo. If you're using missiles, which are mainly used by Caldari, Arbalest compact light missile launcher Tech 1 with Inferno, Mjolnir, Scourge or Nova light missiles. These are open to discussion but fairly solid and they won't let you down. Check your ship traits to see what bonuses it gets, that will decide what weapon you should fit. Next topic.
Yes, but what ship do I pick?
That's easy. Don't mess around with electronic warfare or other funky stuff like that. Simple PvP is high damage, high tank. So, if you're going Amar, Punisher all day. In my opinion, it's the best T1 PvP frigate. I eschew my own advice here and I fit it with projectile cannons. 50 likes and I publish my fit. For Caldari, it's the Merlin Orchestral. For Gallente, it's the Tristan or Atron. And for Minmatar, it's the Rifter. Again, totally oversimplifying. Sue me. Now, with frigates, you should always try to skill into T2 weapons as soon as possible. They're way better. Tank. The TLDR on this one is just stick to what your ship is bonus for, either armor or shields, and get your EHP up way high. You can see your EHP here. So you check your ship traits to see whether your ship is shield or armor tanked. It can be either, not often though. Fit according modules. Generally speaking, Amar and Gallente use armor. Minmatar and Caldari use shields. Generally speaking, armor modules go in a low slot. That's why I like armor. Generally speaking, shield modules go in a mid slot where you might otherwise have useful combat utility modules. Tank is mainly made of EHP, effective hit points, which includes your base or buffer hit points plus resists. Don't worry about it. Just get them all as high as you can. Next topic, resists. You can right click on any NPC and see their resists. Oh, there are charts, but learn to do this quickly and it's a very simple way to see which damage type to use against them. But you can't see resists on a fitted player ship. You can see your own resists in the fitting window. For PvE, you can tailor them to the enemy you're fighting. But in PvP, you can't predict what will be used against you. So just get them all up mad high. If you have an assault damage control, disable it for figuring out your resists. It only runs for like 10 seconds and recharges for ages, and all it's for is to give you near invulnerability for a short time while your tank catches up in a battle. One thing to remember, most shield tanks have awful electromagnetic resists, so fit some kind of EM hardener. 5000 EHP is pretty good for a frigate, and you want to be over 100 DPS. But don't worry if you can't hit that straight away, you'll be a while skilling up to it. And that's what we have on that for now. We'll continue this guide next episode. Something you hear economists saying about New Eden from time to time is that there's too much ISK in the hands of the big corps. Too many ISK faucets and not enough ISK sinks, they say. That's partly what the Scarcity Initiative was all about. Well, I may have stumbled upon a solution. On my travels through the universe of New Eden related media this week, I discovered a man who I think may well be the best solution to a bloated economy. His killboard is as green as the mould on Greta Thunberg's socks, and his streams are a riot. I could not tell you the last time I've seen so many kills in such a short time, and he mostly attacks big corps, so he's hitting right where the ISK is. The name of this man is Mr. Unlucky, and the next time a large amount of ISK needs to be removed from the economy, I propose to the powers that be that we put this man in a cloning machine and make a load of him, then release the resultant apparatus of destruction into the blue donut and wait for the economy to rebalance. Then of course the extra Mr. Unluckies will need to be removed so they don't go too far, and in that event we should just clone some more to hunt the first ones down, and then everything will be back to normal. Simple. Mr. Unlucky's excellent work can be viewed on both YouTube and Twitch, and for your pleasure and entertainment, I urge you to sub to him immediately, if not sooner. It's that time of the week again for PvP Shenanigans. Hey, what the hell happened there? We keep it in, it's funky. We normally only get frigates on our frigate roam, so it's a treat to attack something bigger. It was a good night for it too, and we were all in high spirits. The FC was on the ball as usual.
I see like a... What's it? Oh, I'm gonna die so fast. Let's help. Oh, he's been game.
I've got disruptors on him and that's about it.
Yep. I got mine too. Fast, 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 fast. Beat his ass.
I got him scrammed.
Yes. Yes, it's happening. It's happening. Yes.
Watch your overheats. Make sure we pay this guy back for a decent fight and warp off. Overload your weapons, that's it, warp is off.
Yes. No, loot. I want to see the loot. Aww.
Did you warp it?
Yes.
I warped this.
Yes. I warped for the skill.
Ooh, there he is, get him.
Yep.
4 cloak ships and a heron set out to run wormhole sites and kill anything that might interfere. The FC was slightly less on the ball this time and took an end-of-life wormhole which closed behind us, resulting in the fleet having to come home through a low-sec system, whereupon we found an Enyo that was wrecking everyone in the place. He saw a lone heron at an explode site, but that was just what he thought he saw. Okay, I've got everything on him now.
Nice. Haha, he took the bait. Oh my god.
Nice.
Oh, can I loot the wreck?
You can.
Sweet, thank you.
And that is a wrap. We'll be looking for a doctor who isn't Stefan Ingredient, just in case. Next episode we'll continue the series on what I wish I'd known about PvP, and Cunningham's Law states the best way to get a right answer on the internet is not to ask a question, it's to post the wrong answer. So if you think you know how to do anything better, let us know in the comments. We can take it. We'll see you all again soon, but for now, from all of us at eVisc Fast, take care and good night.